to you. Today is Tuesday, December 23rd, 2014. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and welcome to Louisiana All-American Sports' first broadcast of the 2014-2015 LHSAA Boys Basketball season. I'm Eric Hatfield, and I'm joined by Gerard Piper, and we are here for tonight's non-district matchup between the visiting Central High Wildcats and the Belaire Bengals. Piper, it is loud. They're getting the crowd fired up for this. They're getting these people ready for some basketball right before Papa Noel comes down the chimney.
Oh yeah, man, they got it crunk up already. You know, it's a pregame, and we just got finished watching the JV game, which was an interesting game. Looks like Central High took that game pretty convincingly. So now we're gonna see what the big boys gonna do. Yeah. I'm excited. I'm ready.
Yeah, you know, the varsity team gets fed in by the JV team, and this Central team definitely has some talent on the junior varsity side. The Bengals maybe could use a little polishing, a little fine-tuning, but this varsity team is playing very good basketball right now. They're 10-4. Their only losses coming to Thibodaux, U-High, Parkview Baptist, and I'm leaving one out, but it was a big boy opponent. It's going to come to me very shortly. My point, very simply, they played some tough competition, and they've looked very, very good. So we should be in for a good game tonight. This crowd here, there's got to be probably about 100, 150 people here tonight. They ought to be in for a treat.
Yeah, they ought to be in for a real treat. It's my first time getting the privilege to actually call this game on Louisiana All-American Sports.com. You can tune in with us. I'm so excited to be here. From my understanding, the Belaire team was not too hot a couple of years ago, but it seems to me that the coach has got them going. Last year they made the playoffs. And so I'm excited to see what they do this year.
They're going in the right direction, Piper, and it's good to have you along. I think if you bring as much of the energy and change of pace for basketball as you did for football, the folks at home ought to be very, very entertained, and that's what we're here to do.
Oh, yeah?
Fasten your seatbelts, folks, as we're about 2 minutes away from basketball here on Louisiana AllAmericanSports.com. Don't forget to join us on Saturday morning. We will be live on the air for our 52nd and final edition of Louisiana All-American Sports in 2014, every Saturday morning, 11 a.m. on 96.9 FM WHYR, or streaming from anywhere in the world at WHYR.org.
Yeah, boy. Now we're under 2 minutes here. We're going to get ready for the tip-off.
About a minute and a half they're showing. The officials are ready. The DJ's got it cranking. This crowd looks like it come to life a little bit, though. It looks like some of these people, I see some people with their hands on their chins, the chins in their hands or whatever. They got to liven up a little bit.
Yeah.
Because they're probably worn out from all that Christmas shopping.
Well, we're going to see who can stand the test of time today. It's early in the season, but pretty much from what I'm seeing so far, it seems like this is actually going to be a pretty good matchup.
And it looks like Coach Chauncey Moore is giving the what's up to the referees. Looks like the team is huddling under their side of the court, and we should be ready for a tip-off in basketball any minute now. As looks like Central's getting their slow clap going. We're less than a minute to go. So as Mills Lane would say, let's get it on. Looks like we'll have the horn any moment now, and we'll be ready to tip off.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Started from the bottom, now we're here, you know?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I love the fatigues that Belaire has for their warm-ups. That's really cool. That's different.
Me too. I like that. It's pretty unique.
Different. We were in high school, and they had like the mesh. Looks like some kind of a duffel bag-looking thing. Used to have us wear. Sportswear has come a long way for high school kids. There's the buzzer.
Oh, yeah.
And we're about ready for basketball. Looks like going to center court to jump it off is Robert Lewis, number 42. I got to see Robert a lot during the Summer League, and from what I've heard, his progress has been rapid fire. Terrell Chapman to tip it off for the Wildcats, and we're almost ready for basketball. The referee stepping to center court, and we'll be kicking it off any moment now.
And here we go.
There's a tip, and it's won by the Wildcats. Ball's possessed by number 22, Titus Woodfork, and here they come. They're going to work the perimeter early. They're swinging the ball around. Woodfork with the basketball. He looks. There's a pass over. They're still working the perimeter. No penetration yet by the Central Wildcats. And ball's knocked around. It's loose. And they're saying it's Belaire Bengals basketball.
Yeah, so that's a turnover right on the first possession of the game, Eric. And we hope that's don't be a pattern for these guys, but we'll see how it goes.
Tim Johnson with the basketball. He was a starting point guard last year. Very impressive given his diminutive stature. And I expect more big things out of Tim Johnson. We actually had him on the Louisiana All-American Sports Show last winter. Impressive young man, very team-oriented. And Johnson launches one from downtown! It is good! And the Belaire Bengals draw first blood. That one all the way from the USS Kid downtown. And Belaire is on top first.
They're on top first. They got a wide-open shot, and here it is. Clean block right there.
Robert Lewis.
That's right.
We're going to see a lot of him.
And I see that they came out, which most high school teams going to play the zone, and they left it Belaire wide open. That's how he was able to get that three.
It looks like almost some kind of a zone-man hybrid that Central's running here. It's not exactly a 3-2 or a 2-3. I'm not sure what to call it. But here come the Bengals. Tim Johnson with the basketball, working the perimeter. He's being guarded very closely by Terrell Chapman, rather. And that ball's going to rattle out of bounds. Central's basketball.
That was a turnover right there by Terrence West. He jumped in the air and came down before passing the ball. You never want to do that.
Yeah, you don't want to take off another ball. And there was some disruption in the backcourt. Good job working him by Joseph Robillard. Robillard also a returning member of last year's team. There's the pass. It's going to ricochet. It's turnover. Picked up by Terrence West. West with the basketball. He goes across the timeline. Passes over into the corner. There's a ball fake. And Terrence Johnson goes up. Can't get the shooter's roll. But I heard the whistle. And they're going to call the foul on number 20, J.C. Obears, before the act of shooting. And so Robillard will inbound the basketball. It's up to Tim Johnson. And it's going to bounce off the backboard and rebounded by Obear, and the Wildcats will take possession.
And just like the Belaire Bengals have started out the game playing a full court press, and it's been working. They got 2 turnovers on the first couple of possessions that Central had when they came down. So I like the idea of putting the press on early.
It looks like if you can make this team, you can force the team to cough the ball up, you're in good shape. Here comes Tim Johnson with the basketball. He crosses the timeline, passes over to Terrence Johnson, back to Tim Johnson, into the corner. It's Terrence West, I believe, kicks it out to Tim Johnson from downtown, all air. And it's rebounded by Woodfork, and here come the Wildcats. Bounce pass over the corner. Oh, get that out of here! Robert Lewis with a rejection, but they could not regain possession. Woodfork gets the shooter's roll, and good, and Central is on the board.
Second chance points right there, Eric. He was able to get the ball off of a mishap, good hustle, was able to put the ball in. 3-2. 5 minutes and 25 seconds left in the first period.
Tim Johnson with the rock, swings it over. I'm sorry, and it's a bounce that Terrence Johnson misses. I'm sorry, that was Terrence West who misses. Rebound by the Wildcats. Rebounded by Woodfork. Taking across the timeline is Kevin Henry. And it looks like they're going to slow down the pace a little bit. And they're going to extend the defense, does Belaire, and attack a little bit. Obear kind of bottled up a little bit. Now he's going to pass the ball off. Chapman with the rock.
It's kind of strange to me to see the big guy out there with the ball instead of having him. I saw him pregame. He had a lot of athleticism with him. He got the other big guy that's out here playing the perimeter. I don't not understand that right now, but
and what that could tell you, maybe he's one of their better ball handlers from downtown off the back of the rim. No good by Chapman. Rims out with a ball fake, and the rebound is Abear, and he's rejected by Lewis. And then Obear goes up. It's no good off the glass. Rebound Terrence West. Kicks it out to Tim Johnson, out to Terrence Johnson. Johnson goes baseline, and he's fouled. You can see that all the way over here. A little bit too much hands-on activity by the defender, number 4, Joshua Abear. And the Bengals will retain possession. 3 team fouls already against the Central Wildcats, and with 4:23 remaining in the opening period, the score, the Central Wildcats trailing the Belaire Bengals 3-2. You're watching Belaire Bengals basketball on Louisiana All-AmericanSports.com.
On this Tuesday. Yeah.
So Whether you're going left on a Tuesday or like Lord chilling on a Wednesday, you can always catch the best sports action on LouisianaAllAmericanSports.com. That was a cheesy plug. Robillard bounces it into Terrence Johnson, and back to Robillard.
What I've been noticing so far is Belaire's size is really, to me, it's kind of giving Central a little bit of a problem.
Well, you know, except for Robert Lewis, every last one of these kids was on the team last year, and they've all grown. And rebound, that one's up and good.
And that's a perfect example right there. They got a lot of size on them, so I like what I'm seeing so far from Belaire.
Tim Johnson makes that bucket. Here come the Wildcats down the court. Belaire extends their lead to 5-2. Damn it. Oops, you didn't hear that at home, folks. Sorry.
And now he swings the ball over. It's number 42, Terrell Chapman. And like I said, he looked like he got both his big men out playing outside the perimeter. Now he got Kevin Jones on the inside with the point guard, Austin Stewart, with the ball. Swings the ball around to Henry. Almost a 5-second count. He gets the ball out. Number 22, Woodfork.
That's back to Chapman. You're right, they're using their larger men to handle the basketball. It's kind of unusual. Like I said, it tells you they might have a shortage of ball handlers. There's the pass. It's back to Stewart, Austin Stewart, over to Woodfork. And Belaire's held them pretty well so far. Now Henry with the basketball. He's going to pass it back out to Chapman. They really are keeping them outside, locked out in the perimeter.
The size is killing them, Eric.
Stolen, Tim Johnson.
Yeah.
And,
good steal. Good defense so far.
Excellent job. Joe Robillard in the corner for Terrence Johnson. I don't know if his foot was on the line. It doesn't matter. It's no good. Rebound by Henry. He's going to kick it out to Hebert, back to Henry, and they're going to slow it down a little bit and cross the timeline with 2:44 to go in the first period. Now Titus Woodfork with the basketball, kicks it out to Hebert. Hebert swings it over to Henry. Henry back out to Austin Stewart. Stewart will restart the offense. 2.5 minutes to go in the first period. Belaire in a solid 2-3 zone. They are not going to move until the Wildcats move, and hey, why would they?
I don't blame them. I just see that Robert Lewis on the inside and number 10, Joseph Robillard. And there we go, almost another steal. That time by Timothy Johnson again. This guy's been everywhere so far. And
the Wildcats are pointing that they had the ball, but they do not. So here come the Belaire Bengals.
2:15 left in the first quarter.
Here comes Tim Johnson over to Terrence Johnson. Bounce pass down low. Terrence West goes up. Oh, and I'll tell you, it looked like Chapman got away with a foul, but it doesn't matter. That bucket is good. The score, Belaire 7 and Central 2.
And that's a good bucket right there by Terrence West. Their size is pretty much overpowering the other team so far. So all they pretty much got to do is go inside, and they can pretty much have their way with this team. From what I'm seeing so far, Central's going to have to come up with another way of scoring the basketball. The ball is steady going around the perimeter, but they can't seem to get inside or to even get a good shot off.
They're not getting any penetration whatsoever, Joker. You're absolutely right. Now Stewart, he's getting a lot of pressure under duress from Tim Johnson, rather. And from downtown, Chapman, all the way from the USS Kid. And that cuts the lead down to 2.
Yeah, man, they needed that shot right there at the time to stop the bleeding. Because Belaire was kind of putting it on him, so here we come again.
So Chapman was Johnny on the spot right there. Now there's Terrence Johnson with the basketball. Fires it out to West. Back to Tim Johnson to Terrence Johnson. They're still working the perimeter, coming up on 1 minute remaining in the opening period. Tim Johnson down low. He's got Robert Lewis. And that shot's no good. Rebound by Terrence West, and that is good. And Belaire extends the lead to 9-5.
West is a monster on the inside, man. He's great second effort that time on the second chance points. They've been getting a lot of those, a lot of rebounds. And
go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and here we go again with the size event.
Now Terrence West is an efficient, almost unassuming looking player, but his game has evolved considerably since last year. He's very comfortable under the boards, and you can just see how this team has grown. That's what happens when you have a lot of underclassmen and most of them come back.
And now I see that it looks like Central probably needed a little bit more size in, so they brought in Hunter Arnold, but they wanted to probably bring in a little bit more size.
Yeah, they got some size there. He's right up there, really, except for Chapman. He's probably the tallest guy on the court for the Wildcats. Tim Johnson with the ball. This might be the final possession. 12 seconds remaining in the first period. Passes out to Joe Robillard. Robillard looking. He's boxed in, trapped by Stewart. Kicks it out. Terrence Johnson into the corner for Tim Johnson. No good. That's the end of the first period with the score. The Belaire Bengals 9 and the Central Wildcats 5. You're watching Belaire Bengals basketball on LouisianaAllAmericanSports.com.
Yeah, boy.
Joker, what did you see there in the first period? Any observations?
All the observations that I've seen was the size that Belaire has and the defense that they have. They created several turnovers. They was able to get a couple of second chance points on the rebound, and they're playing an excellent game so far on defensive end and offensive end.
And you know what I noticed? It seems like Belaire had the advantage in transition. It seemed like when Central did actually grab a rebound defensively, they seemed to be a little slow to transition back on offense. Belaire seemed to move the ball back down to their opponent's end of the court very quickly.
Yeah, and I see the same thing. And with the Central team, I see that I think Coach sees himself that he's kind of outmatched with a little bit on the size. So I don't know if he want to go small and maybe try to maybe try to use his speed advantage or his quickness advantage for them.
Hey, Coach Lewis is blowing a gasket there. He's seeing something. He's seeing some fundamental breakdowns he doesn't like. When you see a coach just slap the floor like that, he's not seeing what he expected to see.
Exactly, and he's trying to motivate his team, Eric. He's trying to give them some type of inspiration because it's pretty demoralizing when you're trying out there and guys have size over you,
right,
and it makes you kind of want to. It kills your effort a little bit. So he's trying to motivate his team to get out here and say that you can play with these guys.
Absolutely.
But from what I see, I saw number 32, Kevin Henry. I saw the 42, Chapman. And these guys, I saw them before the game. They have a lot of athletic ability, but I think he should use them more on the inside.
Titus Woodfork. I mean, they're not completely bereft of size, you know. So there's the basketball now, down low, stolen. Speaking of Woodfork, and he makes a big play right there. Coming down the court is Henry. Henry's going to cross the timeline to Woodfork. Back to Henry. Monsters in the lane. Puts up a finger roll. It is no good, but he is fouled. And that will send him to the line. And
I think Coach told him in a timeout. I think he's one of their best players, and Coach obviously told him in timeout to start taking the ball to the goal.
Yeah, toughen up and bring it hard.
Exactly. You want to try to use your star players and use them to be able to try to get you some points. And I'll get a little bit of momentum going here.
And that first shot is good by Henry, and so the score is now 9-6 in favor of the home team, Belaire, the Belaire Bengals. Live here at the cage.
And what it also does, Eric, it also, just a free throw like that and being able to put a shot up, builds your confidence a little bit.
It sure does. And that puts 2 points on the board. And, hey, they're right back in the ball game, 9-7.
And here we go. And now Belaire Central has put on the press.
Robillard to Johnson. Terrence Johnson with the finger rolling good. Terrence Johnson on the assist from Joe Robillard. And the score is now 11-7.
But that press also can backfire on you if you can't contain on the back end. And just like that, Johnson was able to stay very poised and not rush it and get a good shot off and make it. And now they're back up 4 again.
Absolutely agreed.
So it's 11-7?
It is 11-7 right now. And with the basketball, Central's trying to work with it.
Central has the ball, and Austin Stewart is at the top of the key dribbling the ball. He gets the ball off to Titus Woodfork, over to Henry. He dribbles the ball at the top of the key, guarded real well, and he takes the ball through the middle, passes off, and a turnover. Ball is out on Titus Woodfork. He's going to go back over to Belaire. Score is 11-7 with 6 minutes and 50 seconds left in the second quarter. And here comes Belaire bringing the ball down with Timothy Johnson. Pass the ball over to Terrence Johnson. Back over to Timothy Johnson. Now he swings it inside. Swing inside Terrence West. Gets it out to Johnson. He takes it baseline. Couldn't find any room, so he gets the ball back out. And here it goes. And back. Easy basket. And that basket by number 20 is Zachary Beeson. That makes the score 13-6. Central brings the ball back up with Austin Stewart. Swings the ball back around to Edgar Lanise. Stewart gets the ball. Swings it back over to Aubert. Aubert tries to get the ball inside again. But the defense just so tough. And here goes Henry with a three-point shot. Only shot he could take at that time. And Johnson with the rebound. He brings the ball up himself. Gets the ball over to Timothy Johnson. Timothy Johnson back to Terrence Johnson. Back to Timothy Johnson. Fakes the three and goes inside the lane. Looks like he was tripped up. No call right there. Looks like it's going to be a jump ball. Oh, looks like timeout was called. Wow.
Who called timeout there, Joker?
Looks like Central called timeout.
That's their first timeout. They got them on the ropes here with the score 13-7 here at the cage. And
so far they're trying to fight back a little bit. It looks like the second half they implied a little bit of a strategy. They're going with Kevin Henry. This is the Central team. They're trying to get their star player into the game, so he's taking the last couple of shots that they had and trying to get himself a rhythm going.
Well, you definitely want your strongest players, especially when you're down. You want the ball in their hands as much as possible. You know, unfortunately, these aren't NBA caliber players where one guy can take over. It's a high school game, but you're going to need the biggest lift and the biggest boost you can from your stars as much as possible. And clearly, Kevin Henry's a little bit of a better ball handler, I believe, for the Central Wildcats. So they definitely have the rock in the hands of the right guy. And the Bengals inbound the ball, and that's an excellent defensive job. Stolen by Austin Stewart. Henry brings it across the timeline. Very heavy press defense being played there as Zachary Benson was all over Henry. And the whistle blows. That is a foul. That is the first team foul against the Belaire Bengals.
Yeah, he was playing him a little bit too close right there. He got kind of aggressive. I think he tried
second team foul. Second team foul. Sorry.
He wanted to make up for the turnover on the other end, so he came down and played a little bit too aggressive defense and got called for the foul. So
and you know, when you have the fouls to give, if anything, at least it stifles the momentum. As Central, that was one time we did see them kind of get moving in transition.
That's right. So that wasn't a bad foul at all. You hit it right spot on there. You want to foul, at least foul them out. I mean, past, mid-court.
We've seen worse.
Yeah,
Robert Lewis with the rebound, and here come the Belaire Bengals. Johnson to West, and Chloe couldn't finish. And rebounded. Good job by Obear. Looks like his arm got hooked a little bit. I don't know. The referees are definitely swallowing the whistles and letting the players play tonight. That looked like a foul.
Yeah, it looked like a foul, and Terrence West blew that layup. It was right up under the goal, but, hey, things happen. And here comes Central again. Maybe that'll give them a little bit more momentum. It's only a 6-point game. It's 13-7, 4 minutes and 45 seconds left in the second period. And
that was a nice no-look pass.
Again. Swinged it out to Albert.
Good ball fake, Albert.
The Woodfork down in the middle. Back up to the top of the key.
Steals
the ball.
He just took it.
Tim
Johnson just took the ball. I mean, like taking candy from a baby. Just jiggity jacked it out of the bread basket of Austin Stewart, and he's fouled on the way to the basket by by Terrell Chapman, and that will send Tim Johnson to the line to shoot two with 4:31 remaining in the period.
Yeah, he took his cookies that time. Great penetration too to get the ball and just take it straight to the hole and force the foul.
Johnson connects on his first foul shot. That'll make the score, and I've got to correct your screen at home. That makes it 14-7. 14-7. Second shot is good.
Second shot is good. That takes the score up to 15-7. Looks like Central hasn't put up, I think, maybe the 2 points this whole quarter. They're going to have to get something going here.
Yeah, the Belaire defense has really had them on the ropes the entire time. They're forced to make hurried passes. That is almost a turnover. That is a turnover. Stolen. Tim Johnson, 1-2 step, and he's relieved of the ball. Good recovery play there by Stewart.
Great defense.
And Stewart was falling away as he stripped that ball. Good job. Coming up on 4 minutes. 4 minutes to go in the half. Obear with the basketball. He's trapped. He gets it out to Woodfork and slapped away, but recovered. That's Benjamin Percy who was on the defense. Kicks it all the way over. J.C. Obear over to Stewart. Oh, Tim Johnson almost got a piece of it. Rushes with a shot. No good. Robert Lewis with the rebound. Under 4 minutes to go. Terrence West kicks it out. Benjamin Percy. Oh, that's an awful shot. Rebound by West. Off the glass. No good. And Chapman tips it to himself. Good job by Terrell Chapman staying with the basketball.
Yeah, great job right there to be able to tip the ball to himself and get his own rebound. And one of the few times they was able to corral a defensive rebound.
Henry to Chapman, swings it to Stewart, over to Obear. Obear back to Stone. Oh, boy, Tim Johnson has been Johnny on the spot. Another steal, a 1-2 step off the glass, and he is fouled. Let's see what the foul is.
He called an offensive foul.
Charging on Tim Johnson. I think that's probably the right call.
Well, he did, yeah, kind of close. That's one of the most hardest calls to call in basketball because it's such a judgment call.
Charging versus blocks. And I think just, it happened very quickly, kind of a bang-bang play. But I'm going to say I think the ref got it right. And more importantly, it doesn't matter because he has the striped shirt and I don't.
At the end of the day. But what defense by Johnson? He seems to have a hand on every ball.
He sure does. He has been really just making and that's the right call. Making their lives miserable, I was going to say. And Coach Lewis of the Central Wildcats calls their second timeout with a break in the action. 2 minutes, 59 seconds to go in that first half to score. The Belaire Bengals 15, the Central Wildcats 7. You are watching Belaire Bengals basketball on LouisianaAllAmericanSports.com.
Yeah, boy.
So, Chuck, it's been kind of they've really locked down the Wildcats here in this second period so far.
Yeah, they really have. The way that this defense has just really been impressive to me. They've been on the boards. They've been playing very good defense. Timothy Johnson looked like he had about 3 or 4 steals so far in the game.
It seems like he's disrupted almost every offensive play.
And he's pushing the pace. And he's bringing the pressure and putting them on their heels. And that's what's kind of separating this game right now. They're playing a great game right now.
And what he is doing, which is going to be to the chagrin of the Central Wildcats, they are forcing the Wildcats to adjust their defense as opposed to the Wildcats being able to dictate the tempo with their ball handling.
Exactly. And that Belaire is in the 2-3 zone, which has been very effective.
And Woodfork puts up an air ball. It's rebounded by the Bengals. Here comes, looks like Terrence Johnson. Terrence Johnson. And there's the pass over to Joe Robillard, back to Percy. And down low. Good job getting it to Lewis. Can't get the roll. A good pass by Terrence West. Robert Lewis, this is his first year playing varsity basketball. He's got excellent raw talent. And if he could ever turn that to some fundamentals down low, he's going to be a force. Meanwhile, good job by Central sticking with it. Sinise puts the ball up and in and is now 15-9 with 2 minutes to go in the half.
Turnover right there, and they were able to get the ball and get 2 points, which pulls them within 6. And you're right, Robert Lewis actually affected the last shot he played in good defense. Just need to be a little bit more fundamentally sound. Don't be such a rush to score the ball. But he's taller than everybody out there.
Coach Perry Daniels was an assistant coach in this team until this past summer. And I saw him in a couple of summer league games, and I'll tell you, that raw talent, I mean, his arms are so long he can disrupt a lot of plays. He just has to take his time. You know, it's kind of like putting a can on top of a shelf. Just put that ball in the hole.
Oh, that's right, Eric. And there he is with the defensive play. Robert and
Terrence Johnson with the
good floater.
Good. Oh, someone's got to tell him same team. Rebounded by Chapman. He gets it to Kevin Henry. Henry with the ball. We're coming up on 1:20 to go. And stolen by West. Gets to Robillard. Robillard 1-2 step in the lane, and he is fouled by number 4, Joshua Hebert. That will send Joe Robillard to the line to shoot 2.
Another great defensive play right there. They've been everywhere with the ball. They've been smothering the ball, and each player has, to me, has one look like a steal from each player almost. Yeah,
they've gotten a lot of hands. A lot of Bengals' hands have gotten on the basketball defensively, and that's what you want. That makes life very miserable for your opponent.
That's right. And here comes Timothy Johnson back in the game. I don't think he was even in the game. He's got at least about 3 or 4 steals.
He got a blow for about 40 seconds maybe. Robillard's first foul shot is no good. Here comes the second shot. That one is no good again. So no harm, no foul. Or I should say no harm from the foul for the Wildcats. And here comes Austin Stewart across the timeline. We're coming up on the final minute of the first half. Kevin Henry with the basketball. Passes over to Terrell Chapman. Back to Henry, over to Stewart. Stewart, they're working the perimeter. Oh, and the Bengals are being very aggressive in their zone defense. It's like a bit of a trap zone, or trap 3-2 zone, or a press 3-2 zone, rather. Swings it back over to Stewart. Stewart being guarded by Terrence Johnson. Back to Henry. 48 seconds to go in the half. Bounce pass down low. Titus Woodfork kicks it back to Henry. Swings it over to Chapman. Chapman to Henry. Well, they're knocking on the door, but nobody's answering it. They get it down low into the paint for Woodfork. He kicks it out. Stewart from downtown. Terrible shot selection. Rebound by Terrence West. 30 seconds to go in the half. And looks like the Bengals have a shot to take the last shot in this half.
Yeah, they're going to hold for one shot, or they should, unless a shot presents itself. And here he is.
Baseline, Johnson, no good. Rebound by Lewis, no good. It gets slapped up in the air. Should remain Belaire's basketball, and it does with 15.6 seconds remaining in the half.
Yeah, they should take the last second shot now, unless one just absolutely presents itself. Then I would take it. But other than that, I think they did really good this first half. The defense was very good. And here we go with 10 seconds left. Timothy Johnson
rattles off hard. Robert Lewis using that length and reached up like plastic. They're going to say over the back.
Wow.
I'm going to say he reached up like plastic man for the rebound.
I thought he did too. I thought he jumped straight up in the air. I didn't see him reach over, but sometimes those calls are anticipated.
Yeah, I think it was, because the ref did not hesitate. The ball stolen. Tim Johnson tried to hit Robillard. Robillard wasn't ready for it, so with 2 seconds left, this should wrap up the first half. as Woodfork's going to try to get it in. You can see him pointing on his man. He can't get him. Stewart takes 1-2, fires up a prayer. It is not answered. That is the end of the first half with the score. The Belaire Bengals 15, the Central Wildcats 9. You are watching Belaire Bengals basketball on Louisiana AllAmericanSports.com.
Yeah, boy.
So, Joker, what we had there was, I think, a first half with a lot of defense, at times a lot of physicality, a lot of fast action by the kids, but not a lot of scoring.
Exactly, and that was my point. I think that Central has kept themselves in the game. Actually, I think they were really dominated this first half on the defensive end and on the offensive end, but Belaire hasn't had the execution, and so they only have 15 points. They're only up 6. Which, gives Central a shot in the second half. And
Belaire's had possession. They moved the ball well in transition, but by shooting, they have shot themselves in the foot and have limited themselves only to 15 points. A lot of low percentage shots by the Bengals. Also, I noticed a lot of shots missed down low. Robert Lewis has missed a few. We know he's a project, but I also saw Terrence West miss one that he shouldn't have been. He's been around. He shouldn't be missing those. They're going to have to focus on that, take their time, and get it going in the second half and put this Wildcats team away. The defense has played enough to where they can stick a fork into their opponent right now.
Right, exactly. And you hit it right on the head. And they also missed a few free throws. Those type of points, those gimme points, you want to make those, especially against a team like this. When you overmatch the team and you can pretty much dominate them on the defensive boards and on the offensive end, then you don't want to give them no hope. You want to take the opportunity that you have. But sometimes those things can snowball and give a team, an underdog team, the confidence, and they can come back and use it. So all these opportunities you have, free throws, open shots, little chippies under the goal, you have to execute those.
Well, Joker, when we cover the football games when we cover the past year, we talk all the time, turnovers and penalties, turnovers. We're like a broken record because they will kill you, and we've seen teams every week kill themselves with turnovers and penalties. Missed free throws in basketball are like penalties in football. I mean, they will kill you if you let them pile up. Belaire's got to take care of their business at the line and put this team away in their own building.
Yeah. I feel good about it, though. I think that the coach will be pleased a little bit about where they played. It looks like that the Central probably has to, from what I saw with them, I don't understand, maybe just with their game plan, Eric, but, they got 2 skilled guys. They got Xavier Henry. Is it Xavier Henry?
Kevin Henry. Xavier Henry used to play for the Hornets. Oh. He's with the Lakers now.
Right.
I do it all the time.
Yeah,
I do it all the time.
It's the Henry thing, I think. But anyway, he has a couple of good talented players on his team. I think it may be just being the offense, but what I'm noticing, he has none of his players, the taller players, playing down low. They're all playing on the perimeter. So.
And you're not going to win. If the Bengals have shown anything, I haven't heard this song in a while, is that the Central Wildcats ball handlers are not going to be able to play perimeter offense against Belaire's perimeter defense. Belaire locked them out of the paint almost all evening long.
Yeah, they have. And, what a distraction. We got the old school music on. It can quickly take you off your train of thought. If
Yeah, it did that to me.
I'll get to, but, yeah.
So we'll be back in about 7 minutes for the second half here on Louisiana AllAmericanSports.com. Don't go anywhere. Alrighty. And we are back to the action here at the Cave. Scores 15-9, Belaire on top of Central, and we're ready for the start of the second half. The teams have switched sides, so Central is now going from on your screen at home from your right to your left. Belaire will be going from your left to your right. Henry with the basketball. He goes to his right. Bounce passes down low. Titus Woodfork is rejected by Robert Lewis, and that's how the third quarter gets underway with 7:48 to go in the third period.
And right off the bat, we see the defense from Belaire, Robert Lewis with the block.
And ball's kicked up high. Henry to Chapman, back to Henry. There's a man open down low, and they find him. And along the baseline, and Stewart is forced out, and he kicks it high to Henry. Henry steps up in the lane. Pass is disrupted by Joe Robillard. Good defense there by the Bengals. We mentioned at halftime that Central was having no luck penetrating. It looks like they're trying to force the penetration, but the Bengals are right there. They're ready and waiting for him.
They're ready and waiting for him, just like the block. I saw that they had Titus Woodfork. They're posting Titus Woodfork up. Good shot right there by Henry.
Henry shot up and good, and Central scores the first points of the second half. The score, 15-11.
And that's where Henry needs to be all the time, Eric. He needs to be. He needs to have the point guard. Look, great block right there by Henry on Lewis. It looks like the ball is going to be out on Lewis, which is going to turn the ball back over to Central. Good turnover. Now they got a chance to cut the lead into 2.
I was adjusting the score at home for our viewers. I didn't see what happened. What happened on that last exchange?
What happened in that last exchange is Belaire came down and tried to give the ball. To Lewis down low, and the ball went out on him, which gave them an opportunity to get the ball back.
And Robert Lewis with an athletic, very focused steal. He kicked it out to Terrence Johnson, and he got the ball in. That was a good play by Lewis.
Very good play. He was able to redeem himself from the turnover that he just created by getting another block shot. And his presence out there is making them change shots, and he's also making the guys think about what they need to do, which changes the continuity of their team.
With the basketball is Tim Johnson. Oh, nice crossover dribble. Gets the pick from Terrence West. And West threw a little elbow there. And it goes high. It's Joe Robillard with the basketball. 6:22 remaining in the third quarter. West with the ball. Steps up 1-2 step in the lane from the from the elbow rather. No good. And it is rebounded by Joshua Hebert. Stewart passes to looks like Woodfork. Hebert with the basketball now. Bounces to Henry. Henry in the lane. 1-2 step from the low block. And there's a whistle. I didn't see what happened as Coach Lewis was.
The ball is no foul. Ball's going to remain on Central.
So the Wildcats will retain possession of the basketball. Nobody was on Woodfork. They got away with one. Rebound, Terrence West. Wide
open shot right there, but sometimes when you hear the presence of the big man, Lewis, it makes you second think yourself, and he couldn't get the chippy. Now Belaire has the ball.
West over to Robillard. That's a three-point shot. No good. Rebound, Robert Lewis. He couldn't finish. Lewis, another rebound. He's got to get better at that layup. Finally, it's picked up by Stewart. I'll tell you, Robert Lewis is only going to continue to get better and better and better. And when he does, and he starts putting back those rebounds, oh, boy, is this going to be a tough team to deal with.
Oh, exactly. He just a little bit, try to rush the ball a little bit too fast, and he's uncoordinated. If he just only takes his time, he's taller than everybody else out there. Keep the ball straight up, fundamentally sound. He'll be okay. But I like what I've seen so far.
And that's only going to come with practice and experience, Joker.
But actually, Central has cut this lead down from 17 to 13, and Henry has the ball. He penetrates in the middle with the shot.
Oh, Kevin Henry, a clean shot from the left wing. Nice job, and this lead is now down to 2, 17-15.
And that's exactly what I was saying. Henry needs to always be in the middle or somewhere around the lane. He's more effective right there. It's hard for him to be able to try to dribble the ball and go all the way into the lane in front of it with this defense that they have out there.
Robert Lewis couldn't get the putback on his own rebound. Kevin Henry picks up the rebound. He crosses the timeline, passes it over. 1-2 step. Woodfork bounces out to along the perimeter. I didn't get that at all.
I didn't get that at all. He actually had a lane, an avenue to the goal, but Lewis's presence once again.
Right, he was right in his way. Now, they were very lucky. Terrence West, I think, kind of unwittingly fouled the ball handler. I don't think he meant to do that, but it doesn't really matter if you bump the guy. They're going to inbound the basketball. Woodfork to Chapman. Chapman bounce pass to Henry. Henry stuck on the elbow. Now he's going to reset. 4:24 to go in the period. Kicks it high, and Titus Woodfork off the front of the rim. No good. Rebound, Joe Robillard. Here comes Tim Johnson. They're going to push it quickly across the timeline. He's trying to, good job by Hebert staying with Johnson. Robillard from way downtown. Terrence Johnson. And they extend the lead, 20-15. The Belaire Bengals on top.
Great shot right there. Now they're extending their defense. They're going to play look like full court press. Just as long as they get back. Oh, and one. Great shot right there. And that was by Titus Woodfork. This has been the second or third time that Titus Woodfork was able to get the ball real deep. He missed the first 2 shots that he had. But since Lewis has come out of the game, now it's allowing him to be able to get deep penetration. And as I speak, here comes Lewis back into the game.
Yeah, Titus Woodfork couldn't sniff the inside of the paint. Right now, he's trying to make it look like the Belaire Bengals defense was huffing the paint. He's gotten them off guard a couple of times, puts the ball in the hole, and just like that, that's going to cut the lead down to 2 actually. So it's 20-18. So he got the bucket in the and one. I was looking away when that happened. Joker?
Yeah, he got the bucket and one. Woodfork did.
And right now, Central has scored as many points in this quarter as they did all in the first half with 9. And the score right now is 18-20. There's the whistle. That's going to be a turnover over and back. And here comes Robert Lewis back into the basketball game. So it is 18-20. Central has had their best offensive output of the game so far.
You're exactly right. And just like what I was saying earlier, when you overmatch the team and your confidence goes up, you have to execute on the gimmies that you get.
Oh, Robert Lewis to get that out of here. Great defensive play. And we read that like Kojak. And
that's an intimidation factor right there. And that kills the team's momentum. And that's why it's hard when the person goes inside the paint and you see that intimidating figure. It makes you second-guess yourself. And
Terrell Chapman doesn't look like a kid who gets too many of his shots swatted away. And, there's Woodfork in the paint.
That's Woodfork again.
Go ahead.
Woodfork has kind of found his niche in his second half. And if I was coach, I would keep going to him, posting him up. He has a lot of good low-post moves. The other player that they have, number 42, Terrell Chapman, he has size and athleticism, but he's not really a low-post guy. And I think that's why Coach probably has him on the perimeter. That's going to be a foul against Central.
Terrence Johnson hit his head, looks like, on the floor.
Hope he'll be okay.
And he's up and walking.
And it's going to be 2 shots for Terrence Johnson. Now the game is tied. The game is 20-20 with 3 minutes and 27 seconds left in the third period. And they're still sticking around.
Johnson went up pretty aggressively to the bucket. And the fact that he hit the floor with that big of a thud, good effort there. They're going to get them to kind of trying to get some of the condensation, the sweat off the floor.
Oh yeah, these guys are young. They're almost like Wolverine. You know what I mean? They heal fast.
Ooh, I know. I miss those days. If I hit my head on the ground like that, I'd still be on the ground right now. It'd be like, "What's your name? Wednesday?"
Right.
So here we go. Terrence Johnson up to the foul line and try to break this tie. Central's tied the score.
Exactly.
And I'm sitting here, we're talking the whole time. They have tied this score after falling very far behind early.
And from the eye test, you would think if someone didn't see the score and just was watching this game and watching the thing that happened in this game, you would swear to God that Belaire was up.
Well, yeah, exactly. But that's the problem. You gotta make your free throws. Another missed free throw here, and you gotta finish under the bucket. And it's something that's going to come. Robert Lewis is going to come along with time, but the more experienced members with those fundamental things like foul shooting, like transition play, they got to pick him up. He can't do it all, and he's not ready to do it all.
And Central has a chance to take the lead for the first time in this game. Gets the ball down to Joshua Hebert. He spins off, goes baseline. Here we come with a good trap. Here comes Robert Lewis with the steal. And Robert Lewis comes all the way back.
Oh, he turns it over.
And he lost the ball. That's going to be Belaire's ball.
I'll tell you what, that is an impressive effort by the junior, Robert Lewis, playing his first year of varsity of any organized basketball. Not Pee Wee League, not middle school, none. This is his first year of organized ball, and he has been, at least defensively, a force.
He's been defensively a force and offensively. This guy can actually run. This guy actually took the ball on one end and made it all the way down on the other end. Great hustle.
I'll tell you, he must have been a beast in games of 21.
Yeah. This guy got great hustle. That was very, very impressive to me.
So here's Terrence Johnson with the basketball. He's being guarded by Joshua Hebert. Under 3 minutes remaining in the period. Robert Lewis trying to post man up. Kicks it over to a wide open Terrence Johnson off the backboard. No good. Rebound by Hebert with 2:47, 2:46 remaining in the third period. Stewart's going to take it across the timeline. He's being guarded by Tim Johnson. He's going to kick it up to Woodfork. Woodfork is trapped. He kicks it out to Hebert. Hebert has nowhere to go, and they pushed Central back along the perimeter yet again. Titus Woodfork with the ball. Oh, good pass to Hebert, but he finds nothing but arms, as in the arms of Robert Lewis. Baseline, Stewart. No good. Rebound, Terrence West.
Good rebound right there that time. Good defense. It was able to stop Central. Central actually had a chance to take the lead that time. Here comes Tim Johnson. Missed the shot. Bad shot right there.
Yeah, and Chapman with the rebound. That wasn't their best shot selection of the evening. That's the kind of stuff that even though you're holding them well on defense and moving the ball down the court quickly, if you're not putting the ball in the hole, you're not scoring.
Exactly.
Stewart. That was a pretty shot from the left elbow by Stewart. And the Central Wildcats, for the first time tonight, have taken the lead. The score, the Central Wildcats 22, the Belaire Bengals 21. We're coming up. We are under 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. There's a whistle, and we'll see what the call is.
Looks like it's going to be a block on Titus Woodfork against Terrence Johnson.
The Wildcats have piled up 13 points here in the third quarter, by far their best offensive output in the game. And these Wildcats have come to life.
Yeah, they come to life. And looks like Titus Woodfork is coming out for a little break. Probably maybe for the start of the fourth quarter, they want to give him a little break. And here Belaire, Johnson has the ball, gets the ball inside.
Ooh, Robillard was not ready for the pass.
And Johnson has the ball.
West, back to Robillard.
Back to West.
Terrence Johnson. Good! Terrence Johnson on the three-point shot and the assist by Joe Robillard. And the Belaire Bengals have regained the lead 24-22, and they've extended their defense into a full-court press. There's a man down low. Yeah,
they got it down low. And that was a great shot by Johnson that time. Pretty good three-point shooting. Here comes Henry, come right back. Now the game is tied at 24. So the players for the team look like they're starting to step up a little bit and get warmed up.
Terrence Johnson's gotten some good looks at the bucket, and he's shown both I remember in Summer League and even last year, when he's open and gets a clean look at the basket, he can hit it. And Joe Robillard from downtown, that's short, and it's going to be rebounded by Stewart. Stewart almost lost it. Terrence West got a little too aggressive trying to rip the ball away.
Exactly, and I think right now Belaire is not executing as well as they would like to. They came out this third period a little bit sluggish. They had a lot of opportunity. They missed a couple of free throws. And Central has just kept in grinding away, and they got this game tied.
Central's run up a tab. 15 points here in the third quarter. They have outscored Belaire 15-9 this period. We have 37 seconds to go in the third quarter. 24-24. There's the pass. Henry kicks it out to Hebert from downtown. No good. Rebound by Hebert. Good ball fake. Henry wasn't ready for it. He pump faked him. Here comes Terrence Johnson with the basketball. Fast break. Johnson out to Robillard. Robillard baseline, and it's partially blocked by Henry. Robillard gets his own rebound off the glass. Can't get it to rattle. Nice job by Terrell Chapman. And he kicks it out to Stewart. Excellent job in transition by the Wildcats. 6 seconds to go. Henry puts up a prayer, and it is no good. 3 seconds left. Nobody guarded Joshua Hebert, and that is the end of the third period. A very costly end of the third period, and the score. The Central Wildcats 26, the Belaire Bengals 24. You are watching Belaire Bengals basketball on LouisianaAllAmericanSports.com.
Yeah, boy.
We'll be seeing Capital High School at 3 o'clock for the EBR tournament. Make sure you're in the building to show our people some love. Make sure y'all in the building. We're going to need all of y'all support. We're going to bring this one home this year, baby. Let's go.
We did it a couple of years ago. I just got to see when I got to check my schedule and check the home, the host.
Right. Well, we're going down to the fourth quarter now, man, you know. And look like third quarter, they was able to get back into the game. They outscored them, I think, 17-9 in that third quarter. And Central came in and did what they needed to do, exactly what we said they needed to do, coming out of halftime in the first half with the defensive and the rebound that they was lacking on. It looks like they came out with a lot of momentum. They started going inside a little bit more to Titus Woodfork, and it paid dividends for them.
The key thing I noticed, Joker, in that third quarter is that Central was able to penetrate the perimeter. They didn't do that all in the first half, and you're seeing the difference in the game now.
Exactly. Execution is what I see. I saw Belaire in this third quarter not being able to execute, missing a couple free throws. They had a couple chippies under the goal that they couldn't make, and those things come back to haunt you. So now here we go. Start of the fourth quarter. This is where it all is going to tell. So it's 26-24. Belaire has the ball coming out. 7 minutes and 50 seconds left. Timothy Johnson has the ball on the perimeter. He's being guarded by Woodfork. Hits him with a crossover. Gets the ball out. Now he gets the ball to Joseph Robillard. Back to Timothy Johnson. Johnson goes around the pick and goes to the goal and gets the ball up and in. Great basket that time by Timothy Johnson. He went around the pick and laid the ball in. Now they got the press on. Central High breaks the press, gets the ball over half court. Now they're swinging it around to Henry. He looks at the coach to see what he needs to do. Gets the ball to Bear, the point guard, at the top of the key. They swing the ball around again. Woodfork, he has the ball on perimeter. He crosses him up. It looks like a foul, and they call a reach-in. It's going to be a reach-in by Belaire. First team foul in the fourth quarter. Central will take the ball out on the sideline.
So with 7:02 remaining in the fourth quarter, we are all tied up. We're pretty much right where we started, all knotted up at 26. And there's a shot, long range, no good. And looks like there was a foul, I guess, over the back.
Yeah, it was a foul over the back right there by Henry, by Kevin Henry with the Central. So the ball is going to go to Belaire. And Belaire has the ball coming down. Timothy Johnson pushes the ball up.
So Johnson's going to bring it across the timeline. Central's in a man-to-man, a half-court man-to-man. I don't know if that's the best defense against a team that's this quick. Terrence West, the other thing, too, is I don't know if you're going to keep Terrence West or Robert Lewis from getting rebounds if you play that kind of defense, especially if they position themselves on the low blocks. He's
taking a risk right now playing man-to-man. But what I think he's trying to do, I think he's trying to up the tempo a little bit. So he's playing man-to-man to try to put a little bit more pressure on Belaire to create a turnover to get out in transition.
See, and I'm just thinking that might play right into the Belaire Bengals' hands with the way they like to move it quickly. We'll see. If they have enough confidence in their defense.
Exactly. That's what he's trying to do, but actually, is that the right strategy?
The other thing, though, you know, Joker, just thinking of the other side of the coin, if they can force first missed shots and longer shots that come off hard, maybe that gets them some more possessions.
Exactly.
Because Belaire's not shot the ball particularly well this evening.
Well, it's a gamble either way. And once again, Belaire only makes one free throw out of two, but they knocked but on the rebound, Central knocks the ball out of bounds, which gives Belaire another possession. So, and here we go. He crosses him up.
Oh, Percy with the crossover, no good. Rebound by Terrell Chapman. He went up really hard with Terrence West. Good job by Chapman bringing it down. There's the pass, and there's a ball fake, a floater in the lane, no good. Rebound by Obear. Obear almost carried. The refs are really letting him play tonight. Stewart from downtown, and good. Stewart hesitated, spotted up, and drilled it. Coach Lewis must have had a lot of confidence in his ability to put that ball in the hole.
He does, and that's the second big shot he has made. He's wide open, and you can't be afraid to take the big shot. And he wants to take advantage of any opportunity that he has. You know, and I agree with that. Put the ball up. Give yourself a chance. Shoot the ball. Don't be afraid to shoot it.
Tim Johnson with the Rocky steps. He finally penetrates the lane. That would have been a great move by Tim Johnson had he shot the ball and while looking at the goal.
Exactly.
He got a little overexcited there. Good penetration. You got to kick out, though, if you can't get a clean shot.
Exactly. And it looks like Central was taking the ball to the hole, and here comes Robert Lewis. Coach has gave him enough rest, and now he wants his defensive stopper to be back in it.
5:56 to go in the ball game, or at least to go in regulation, and Central has wrestled this lead away from the home team. It is 29-27, and they're getting some more sweat off the floor. And looks like Central has the basketball. They could go up by multiple possessions. The Bengals are going to have a problem on their hands.
I think so.
They've got to go back to what they were doing in the first half. That is lock them outside of the perimeter. That worked very well. Woodfork, and there's a man slipping through that back door, and nobody sees him.
Nobody sees him.
A couple of times. And Stewart with the basketball. Terrence Johnson guarding him.
And I see an advantage. What I see. Oh, that's offense.
Oh, Tim Johnson took that like a man.
Yeah, man, big. He lowered his shoulder, and Timothy Johnson took that. That was square. That was easy, very easy call to make.
Boy, as John Madden would say, he had that sweat with the side of elbow.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But what I think Coach is trying to do is, he's trying to use his size. He's going small, actually. He took out, he put in J.C. Allbear. He took his other guy out and put in J.C. Allbear, and he's actually going small. And I think he has an advantage going small with the speed. But he's going to give up the defense and the rebounds on the back end.
And
these guys have a open shot. But just like Austin Stewart was able to get an open shot, a couple of open shots, and they're able to get away from around these big bodies And I think that's what he's banking on.
And Austin Stewart has gotten some open shots, but, you know, their biggest offensive flurry has come when they penetrated. That is the secret to their success. If Belaire can just lock them out, or at least keep them out a little bit, much like they did in the first half, they should be able to, if they just play smart basketball and take high percentage shots, wrestle away this lead. Terrence Johnson's shot, no good. Robillard got the rebound, slapped it, no, goes to Stewart. They never got possession. Stewart with the rebound. Kevin Henry with the basketball, and we have coming up on 5 minutes to go in the ball game. 29-27 Central. There's the pick set for Henry. Henry gets it down low to Woodfork. Aubert steps up, kicks it back out, and this is what we saw a lot of from Belaire's defense in the first half, forcing them to reset, forcing them to go outside along the perimeter.
Exactly, and that's why when him having the quicker players, he can get around the defense and get penetration, just like that. Exactly what I was talking about.
That was a beautiful floater by Austin Stewart between two men. Central's extended their lead, 31-27.
And that's what I mean by the open shot. He's using smaller players. The only small player that Belaire has is Timothy Johnson. He's the only one that can keep up with these little small point guards, Aubert and Stewart. And that's what he's banking on. Austin Stewart had hit the last 3 big shots for Central. He just goes around the bigger defender, which is Johnson, is guarding him, and he's able to go right around him. Great defensive strategy so far.
Central has called their 3rd timeout of the game. By my count, they have 2 remaining. You're watching Belaire basketball on Louisiana All-American-Sports.com. The score, the Central Wildcats leading the Belaire Bengals 31-29. We're coming up in the home stretch of this game. What does each side need to get done to come away with the victory? So we're coming up in the home stretch of this game. What does each side need to do to come away with the win? What does each side need to do to come away with the win here?
Oh, well, what each side need to do to come away with the win, the strategy that Central has, going small right now, is working for them, but I don't know how long it can last. They're giving up size and they're giving up rebounding and defense, but they're also gaining the quickness. And he put in Joshua Aubert, which hasn't really played much in this game. I think for stamina and for someone in first legs to come in.
And, you know, I would think that when Central has the small unit on the court, if they continue to have the small unit on the court, they've got to take advantage of this, push the ball down low and use their size and get second and third chances and get some rebounds and get some points when they can. They're losing.
Exactly, but exactly. You hit it right on the head. In actuality, Timothy Johnson has been able to penetrate and get inside the lane, but he's been taking everything upon himself when he got the big man right there. So he should penetrate, use his size, and use the big man that he has, and dish the ball off and get the easy bucket.
Got to get his teammates involved. Coming up on 4 minutes to go. Woodfork, bounce pass to Henry. Henry is tied up. Goes to Chapman, back to Woodfork, out to Stewart. Stewart steps now, hesitates. Belaire is in a 2-3 zone. And once again, they are keeping, so far on this possession anyway, keeping Central out of the paint.
Slowing the game down.
Robert Lewis is back in the game too, and that could be problematic for the Wildcats. Here's a screen.
Why would you go up there?
Yeah, I thought they extended Lewis.
Shoot away out there. Yeah. Stay your big butt down there. Protect the basket.
And so here's Austin Stewart. Stewart over to Henry. Henry
don't go out.
Puts it on the ground. 1-2. That was a terrible shot. If those pipes were goalposts and this were football, I'd give them 3 points to the field goal. Yep, and Coach Lewis did not like that as he throws the warm-up shirt. Okay, his hands must have been wet. Must have slipped. He must have wanted to rinse, get his hands dry.
Must be.
He was fouled.
They fouled. They called a two-shot foul on Lewis that time.
I thought he lost possession of the ball out of bounds, so that was a whistle for a foul. My bad.
No, in actuality now, they just went up by 3 points with 3 minutes and 27 seconds left. They're slowing the game down, and in actuality, Lewis is playing. He's playing out of position. He's following the player way out here too. I mean, I don't understand that. I'm not understanding.
Awfully high for his length.
They should play zone. He should stay by that goal at all times.
They were in a 2-3. They were in a 2-3. He should.
He actually was playing man because he was following Henry around way out here. Then he went over there and followed the guard out to the perimeter. I'm like, what is he doing?
And I did not see any signal from any of his teammates for help.
Right, exactly.
You know,
so we'll see if it costs him, though.
That's going to come with experience. And he's only going to get that with making mistakes. Joe Robillard kicks it out to Johnson. Johnson over to Robillard from downtown. No good. Rebound by Terrell Chapman. And that was a very poor shot selection. And it's a 4-point lead for the Wildcats. And now they can smell a little blood in the water.
They're smelling blood in the water. The confidence has gotten up. They're going to slow the game down a whole lot now. They're going to take their time. That's a charge. Offensive foul. The offensive foul on Titus Woodfork. Very bad decision. Poor decision right there. You're supposed to bring the ball out. They're up 4 points. You're supposed to use as much clock as you can right now if you're up 4 points. So that's a very bad decision right there. Take it to the goal. Now we're going to see if Belaire can capitalize right here.
Belaire dominated this game defensively in the first half. And good ball fake. And Johnson took it up again. He does get the foul, but again, not the best shot in the world. He went with the floater or the runner. Now, the lane was open. He did get fouled, so it's easy to be, I guess, a Monday morning quarterback, so to speak. But I just think, like you pointed out a moment ago, he's got to distribute that ball when he gets the penetration.
Exactly. But he gets 2 free throws out of it. Kind of bailed him out a little bit. Let's see what he can do. And
oh, boy. Missed free throws will kill you, especially in a close game. Balance, elbow, eyes, follow through. You just got to take your time and put that ball in the hole.
Exactly, and I haven't even seen Terrence Johnson really take too many shots. He was kind of, he took a 3 a little while ago, but now they got him on the perimeter instead of getting these big guys inside.
Tim Johnson missed both of his foul shots. Now, last year, I remember him being a solid, I'd say about at least 70%. Oh, boy. Tim Johnson was down low guarding Titus Woodfork. That's a mismatch. It's now a 6-point lead. This one's starting to slip away. Robillard, 1-2 step, puts it up. No good. Rebound by Terrell Chapman. And boy, oh boy. They are maybe a bucket away from getting the fat lady to come out of her dressing room.
She's up.
Go ahead.
She's almost here.
1:41 to go. And Terrence West trying to make something happen. There's a whistle. And they have called their 4th timeout. Central has 1 remaining. Meanwhile, I don't think Belaire's called any of their timeouts yet. They may want to consider it.
Yes, Lewis fouled out. Because he wasn't in the game. No, I said, did Lewis foul out? Because he's been on the bench. I don't know why.
I don't think he could have. I mean, there are only 16 fouls in the second half.
Right, so I don't know why. Because I just saw in that last play how they got that offensive rebound, and Lewis wasn't in the game. So I was wondering, and I looked, saw him on the bench.
That is conspicuous. Unless they had another offensive replacement in there, I don't know.
Right, exactly. But we'll see what happens, man. I mean, I think that from where it's looking so far with 1 minute and 34 seconds left, down 6 points, they kind of let this game slip away from them.
Yeah, they are letting it get away, Joker, and they've outscored Belaire again, 9-5 in this period, and they're knocking on the door right now.
And another thing I've noticed in this game, I don't think I noticed one time that Belaire has called a timeout.
No, that's what I was saying at the start of the break, Joker. By my count, Belaire has all 5 of their timeouts left. Central's down to 1.
I've noticed that. Even when a team like Central comes back, they had the lead. He never called timeout to stop the bleeding, to come up with maybe a different strategy to tell the kids. I mean, just me, something I noticed.
The coach likes to leave them out there to kind of figure, dig out of their own mess, but now this is crunch time. Now, this could work out. They are trailing. They might need all 5 of those timeouts.
Yeah, we'll see how it works how that works for him. I hope that works for him, but sometimes you need to stop the bleeding and stop the momentum of the other team.
Austin Stewart, wicked crossover, gets it out to Chapman. Now they're forced to reset. Oh, boy.
Now they put Johnson on.
And Tim Johnson has got him under some duress. He got a piece of the ball, but not enough. There's the trap. Terrence West and Tim Johnson finally get the ball back. It is stolen by Terrence West. Tim Johnson with the ball. 1-2 step in the lane, goes up, he is fouled. That's going to send Johnson to the line. Johnson has got to make both of these free throws.
Great defensive intensity right there. Johnson wouldn't be denied. They trapped him and was able to get that ball. But the question that I have is, the other Terrence Johnson was the one that had been guarding Stewart. for the last 3-4 possessions, and now they're finally putting Tim Johnson on him, which is something they should have been done.
I like that decision because Tim Johnson can frustrate a ball handler, especially when his energy is up.
But I mean, it may be a little too late now. I mean, he had made he had burnt Terrence Johnson 3 different times and was able to capitalize on the hoop. But now it may be a little bit too late when they got Tim and Johnson on there. But we'll find out.
Tim Johnson hits that first foul shot, and he needed that.
Big shot. Big-time shot right there.
You know, one of those exchanges that you were mentioning there, Joker, you know, I saw Tim Johnson under the bucket trying to guard Titus Woodfork. Complete mismatch.
Exactly.
And maybe the defense got their wires crossed. Oh, boy, they needed that foul shot. Chapman with the rebound, coming up on 1 minute. And that's a full-court defense. Chapman looking. He has Tim Johnson on him. Chapman steps up into the lane.
Got the ball. Belaire has the ball.
Here's relieved.
Push it up.
By
Push
Zachary Benson. Tim Johnson. Terrence Johnson off the glass and good. That was huge. Tim Johnson on the assist. I'm sorry, Terrence Johnson on the assist from Tim Johnson. And Belaire has made this a single possession game. And now Coach Chauncey Moore has called their first timeout.
Johnson and Johnson.
Here's a full timeout. Belaire called timeout. So they're going back and forth, fourth and back, and Belaire's managed to cut this down to a single possession game. The question is it too little too late, as you mentioned that possibility a moment ago? Can they stop the Wildcats and get possession and possibly score 2 times, Joker?
Yeah. 44 seconds left. It still is an eternity in basketball. Plus they have their timeouts like you mentioned earlier, and they can definitely use those right about now.
So we're going to see what Coach Moore is drawing up there. But right now the Central Wildcats appear to be in the driver's seat.
All they got to do is pretty much get the ball inbounds. There's no shot clock in high school basketball, so you can almost run the old Dean Smith 4 corners.
It might very well do that, Joker. On the basketball court for the Belaire Bengals are Terrence West, Zachary Benson, Terrence Johnson, Tim Johnson, and Joe Robillard. On the floor for the Wildcats are J.C. Aubert, Terrell Chapman, Josh Abair, Austin Stewart, and Kevin Henry. So this is probably going to be our final cavalry as this battle of the 2 cats goes down to the finish line.
And here we go.
Whose claws are sharper?
Central gets ready to take the ball out. Belaire is going to be on the full-court press. Let's see how they handle it.
And so in this game of cat and mouse, pun fully intended, Central right now is the predator and making Belaire to the prey. Ball is loose. Oh, that was a great hustle effort by Zachary Benson. Unfortunately, he fell on top of the basketball, and the Wildcats will retain possession.
Almost gave it away that time. If they can get the ball back, it's still a 1-possession game. 35-32 with 37 seconds left on the clock. Central gets ready in the ball. He inbounds the ball to Woodfork. And it's a quick foul to Chapman. And that was Terrence West on the foul.
That's going to send Terrell Chapman to the line. Now, I don't think I've seen him take any foul shots tonight. Maybe one set earlier. But, you know, rule of thumb is your bigger guys who don't handle the ball are usually not your best free throw shooters. We'll see if that axiom holds true tonight.
Hey, not a bad call foul at all. It's 1-1, huh?
First one's in, so Chapman said, well, big men can shoot. And that makes it a 2-possession game, more importantly, for the Central Wildcats. 33 seconds left to play. 36-32. Central on top. Another bucket might put this Belaire patient into ICU. And it is good. He gets the shooter's roll, and it is now 37-32.
You got to push the ball up real quick right here. He needs a quick bucket right here. He can't play. You got to shoot the ball. You got to shoot the ball.
Great defense. Johnson saves the ball. Robillard puts him there. Under duress. No good. And
no good. Central comes down with the rebound.
They're going to foul Austin Stewart. We know Stewart can hit threes, so I'm assuming he can hit the free throws. And, with 2 buckets, we're going to have to pull the plug on this patient if he makes both of these shots.
Looks like we're going to be calling Monique in here in a minute.
Old Precious. Get Old Precious down. Get a lemon juice. Get up to the mic. We'll see.
15 seconds of eternity, and he missed.
No good.
Give him a little life.
So they have life. They've got to hurry up. Terrence Johnson
12 seconds
up
left.
a prayer. No good.
No good.
Close.
And that should do it right there.
Kevin Henry.
Henry with the rebound.
Henry with the ball fake. That'll do it. Time of death.
Just throw the ball up.
Well, I'm not even going to call time of death with 5 seconds left. I'm just going to say that that's the end of the ball game. And Central and Belaire played an excellent game. That's the end of the ball game. The score: the Central Wildcats 37, the Belaire Bengals 32. You've been watching Belaire Bengals basketball on LouisianaAllAmericanSports.com. So, Joker, we are finally underway in our basketball coverage in the 2014-15 school year on LouisianaAllAmericanSports.com. Any parting shots?
Any parting shots, man? I really enjoyed it. You know, I want to give a shout out to Perry Daniels, which is pretty much the brainchild behind this whole thing. Man, I mean, I really enjoyed this. I thought that Belaire had this game under control. I thought they had all the talent. They did have all the height, but the coaching on the Central side, you know, they came in after halftime and readjusted, and they came in and they actually won this game and executed.
And that sums it up. Central made the adjustments at halftime they needed to, and it showed in the second half. So that will conclude all of our coverage of all events in all probability in the year 2014. And we'll have action no later than January 6th. We might be back here to show you Catholic at Belaire or other coverage. Keep checking the LouisianaAllAmericanSports.com schedule. But until then, have a Merry Christmas and a safe and Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas.
For Gerard Piper, I'm Eric Hatfield. Good night.